was a doctor of zoology and taught and wrote and very concrete and linear and left brain. And the other woman worked for in a major corporation who has stores all over the world, and she designed what each store looked like. She was very creative, very right brain. And what I can tell people is that I get you aware of the way that your brain processes information and how your intuitive signals or messages will come usually through the portal that is the strongest for you. You know, like if you're a kinesthetic, or you'll get the chills or a high-pitched tone in your ear or a twitch in your eye. You'll have emotionally, if you're an emotional, you'll have a knowing. If you're a visual, you might have a daydream or a vision or a dream. So when you start to open yourself up and get this other extra added information, communication, you'll start to be aware of how your body receives it and be more attuned to it. So the gift of this book is that you are now both a sender and a receiver, and you will start to understand intuitive information as it comes in ways that may have always been there, but you didn't pay attention. And you'll start to really have self-love in a deep way that only going in and going up can do. When guidance comes from whichever way your belief system works, and this is inclusive of all belief systems, guidance is extremely self-loving. You'll never hear, "You idiot, you moron, why'd you do it that way?" When you're in a meditation and you're in your high brain, which I teach you how to do, you will always hear self-love or feel elevated. You won't feel that low-level panic, dread, jealousy, envy, deficit, anxiety. You immediately go quickly to that high brain and feel elevated and expansive.
Well, that's wonderful, because I do think that a lot of us have negative self-talk. There's no question about it. When we go into a situation, we say, well, am I smart enough? Should I say this? What are people thinking about me? And even when people walk into a room and there's a group of people who are having a conversation, there are some people who say, "Oh my gosh, they're talking about me. What are they saying about me?" And they don't even see you walking into a room, let alone be talking about you. So I think I'm really going to use this, Laurie. I am really going to practice this over the next year and see the differences that it can make in me, because this is a very powerful, powerful book. And so I think that, our listening audience need to be able to get a hold of this. Now, first of all, do you have a website, or where can they find it?
Yeah, they can find it on, all the usual places, Amazon, and through my website as well. My website is Laurie, Laurie, middle name Ann, Ann, and then Levin, which is really Levin, but my husband's Philadelphia family pronounces it Levin. Don't ask me why. LaurieAnnLevin.com. It'll have my speaking engagements, which is Dr. Gail, why you're having me on, because I want to just plug the Miami Book Fair. And Saturday at 10 a.m. in the morning in Miami, in the downtown campus. And then I'm teaching in Mexico. I just taught, I've been teaching all over the nation, but I will say, when you ask what's the feedback, hold on to your skirt, because it does really change your life, but it changes your life for the better. And, there's a lot of research on how meditation and hypnosis can change soft tissue. When you start meditating, you can heal your body. You'll sleep better. So there's a lot of secondary gain besides the psychological and spiritual knowing, and your intuition getting sharpened, and you'll be able to read people better. And oftentimes when we make a grand shift, when we make a transition like this, the people around us have to shift, because we're operating at a higher vibration, and we pull that to us. And you'll get used to understanding that high vibration, and you won't put up with the lower level crud anymore.
It's funny you say that, because I think that's true. However, and I would be interested to know this as well. I find that I am thinking on a totally different level as I age, and I'm up there, so I've had a long time to do this, but where I was very, hard driving and really focused on my career and doing the things that I had to do and making sure I got to the next level and the next step. And I've had my own business for over 50 years. So Dr. Laurie, I can tell you, I've been around a lot of, different pressures and so forth all the time. But I'm finding as I get older, I'm much more spiritual. I am much more patient. I am much more one to see both sides of the story. And I'm wondering how young people.
Dr. Gale?
Hold on one second. We seem to have lost her for a minute.
What happened?
I have no idea, but you're back on, so I don't remember what you were saying.
Okay.
You get much more spiritual, much more patient.
Okay.
Much
yes,
more.
As I age, I get much more spiritual. I get much more patient. I don't let things bother me the way they did. I mean, I was pretty good about it in the beginning, but still now I see when something happens, I almost automatically count to 10 and say, okay, let's see what happened. Let's see why it happened. Something will make it better. I just have to, get through this time. And so I just wonder if the younger person reacts to your book, your journal, the same way someone older does.
That's a great question. I think that it depends upon their willingness to work on themselves, because I think when you get to the age of 27, 28, 29, you're starting to figure out what my purpose is. What's the meaning of life? And I'm not a kid anymore. And you may even have some kids. You may even be married, but you're making some life decisions that are pretty interesting and looking at yourself square in the eye. And that really is the kind of person who would want this book. The other kind of person who would want this book is somebody who's really excited about expanding their capacity to be a vast human being. That adage, we're spiritual beings having a worldly experience. In the book, I teach how to bilocate. I don't know if you know what that means, or how to read people, how to transmute dark to light. There's a lot of metaphysics, quantum physics in practical levels. And maybe somebody's already known that, but like my girlfriends who work in hospitals where you're around, or the addiction community, or you are a therapist, anyone who's around a lot of pain, there are ways to transmute the gunk that you feel when you come home. It's almost like you want to take a shower, but you need to do it psychically or emotionally or energetically. We really need to start paying attention.
It's really interesting, Laurie. We only have a minute left, unfortunately. But it is, I've always said, I wonder how some of these people who go through, being hospice workers or psychologists, psychiatrists, how they deal with everything they do, and when they come home, how they handle it. So I have to say this, folks, as you're listening to this, Dr. Laurie Ann Levin is just a wealth of knowledge. Look for the book and give them the title. Give them the title, Dr. Laurie.
Life in life. That you're living this life, but there's a whole other unseen life that lives with you, that helps you and guides you.
Exactly. Go to her website, Laurie with Laurie, Ann Levin, LEVIN.com. Get the book. It's wonderful. I think you'll just have a whole new future ahead of you as you read it and as you experience it. So I want to thank you so much, Dr. Laurie, for being with us today. We've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it immensely, and great tidings at the book fair.
Oh, you're so sweet, Dr. Gail. Thank you. You are such a sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you.